Hey guys, in this video, we're going to be sharing our top travel tips to have an awesome kiteboarding trip in Hatteras, North Carolina. We've been traveling to Hatteras with a large group of kiteboarders for many years now, and over those years, we've come to learn a thing or two to maximize the experience to the fullest, which always keeps us coming back for more. So let's dive in. Hatteras, also referred to as Outer Banks, are a string of 200-mile-long barrier islands that stretch along the coast of North Carolina. There are a number of towns that you can stay in, starting in Rodantha, going all the way down to Frisco. We've stayed in Rodantha, Salvo, and Avon and enjoyed them all. There are many reasons that make Hatteras an amazing kiteboarding destination.
The main key is the wind. That's what's the most important part on the kiteboarding trips. Nobody cares about the kiteboarding trips without the wind.
The good wind direction is west, southwest, northwest, unless you're into riding in the ocean, and you could use the east winds for that.
Flat water, waist deep water, and warm water.
You can kite on either the ocean side or the sound side. The ocean side offers wide sandy beaches and great waves.
You got ocean side and you got the inland side, and to break it up and go from something that's pretty wavy to flat water with strong winds.
The sound side offers shallow water and, depending on the wind direction, lots of flat water spots, also referred to as slicks.
We were able to get the house very close to the flat spots where you can really enjoy, when you can learn your new tricks. They're like a very comfortable level, and those flat spots are awesome for it.
You can lose your board just about a mile out and then still get up, walk back, grab your board, put it back on, and just kite all the way back.
You can do some pretty incredible downwinders on either side, and we recommend doing at least one while you're staying in Hatteras. Of course, your mileage may vary depending on your preferences and your length of stay.
If you can already go downwind, or even better upwind, coming to Hatteras is great. But if you're a beginner and you're just getting used to kiting, make sure you have someone who can actually teach you, because even if you have the greatest conditions, without someone who can tell you what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right, your progression could be a lot slower.
If you're a complete beginner, you can get lessons at Kitty Hawk Kiteboarding or Real Water Sports. Each year, we book a soundfront home where we can make the most of backyard kiting in nice shallow water, but we also make it a priority to do at least one soundside downwinder and one oceanside day. The shoulder seasons offer consistent wind ranging anywhere from 10 to over 30 knots. For this reason, we usually pack all of our kites ranging anywhere from a 7-meter to a 15-meter kite.
This year was like a huge success. Like, we got extremely lucky on that wind, almost everyday kiting, to the level that like you want to have a break, but then like you're like, no, maybe a little bit more, because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow, right?
We like to go in the spring, and we've had pretty good luck in recent years with mid 20 degrees Celsius temperatures and nice southwest wind. That being said, it's best to bring your wetsuit just in case it's north wind and you have some colder conditions. While oceanside is nice and sandy, the sound side can be a little bit mucky with lots of tall grass. For this reason, we recommend that you bring your booties with you. If you're not staying directly on the water, don't worry, there are plenty of public access points that you can kite from. Some spots to check out include the Canadian Hole, G-Spot, Planet of the Apes, and Salvo Day area. Because of the friendly kiteboarding conditions, it's a great place for progression for kiters of all skill levels.
Hatteras is a kiter's incubator. You can learn anything you want here.
So, how do you get to Hatteras? Well, it depends where you're coming from, of course. If you're flying, you can go to Norfolk International Airport and rent a car for the final leg of your trip. We'd strongly recommend renting a car to get around in Hatteras. We always drive from Hatteras from Toronto, Canada. It's about a 14-hour drive, depending on border issues, coffee breaks, and subsequent bathroom breaks.
As long as you're okay to drive overnight, the drive to Hatteras isn't actually too bad.
We split up the group into 2 to 3 drivers per car.
So the drive here was very relaxing. I slept the whole way.
I like the way when there's like a third person, one person sleeping, one person drives, one person is a spotty person, just sitting next to you, talking to you, entertain you a little bit.
We just keep going and going and going. We keep in touch with walkie-talkie. We try to keep the P-stops to a minimum.
We pack the cars to the max. We switch all night. A most efficient drive, so you get here for the morning, and if it's windy, you get to kite.
When selecting a house, especially for a larger group, it's important to have a list of criteria. For us, kiting always comes first, so location, accessibility to water, and a good launch spot is key. Google Maps will be a big help in determining whether or not your house has decent water access and launch spot. Comfort is also key. so the bedroom to bathroom ratio is important. Also, for a larger group, having more than one fridge is definitely necessary. Having a hot tub for post-session recovery is also really nice to have, and more recently we've discovered an ice bath helps too. A barbecue is also nice to have, and don't worry if your house doesn't offer one up front, you can always contact your property management company and rent them for a pretty decent price. The good houses always go early, so we recommend booking at least 6 months in advance if possible. If you stay in a house that you really like, make sure to reach out to your property management company about possibly booking the same house for the same week the following year. You can usually do so for a very small deposit. If you're not traveling with a big group, you can rent a condo. The ones that we know of are at Kitty Hawk Kiteboarding and Real Water Sports. There are also smaller houses that you can rent too, and most real estate companies have pretty easy filtering options on their website so you can find exactly what you're looking for. So you figured out your accommodations and how you're going to get there. What about the rest? Here's our tips for organizing a large group of people to have an amazing trip with minimal issues.
It's best to have one person in charge, and we are very, very fortunate in our charge lady, Anna.
I think every good group that does a trip like this needs someone just to pave the way. You know, it makes things so much easier. It's creating a singular direction as opposed to 50 directions.
We do the majority of our grocery shopping at the Food Lion in Avon, as well as one Costco stop on our way down.
So the way we make cooking work in Hatteras is we assign
2 people who've been randomly paired up.
to cook one night in the whole trip, and that's your whole responsibility. So that takes the ownership, puts it into you for just one day.
The day you cook, usually that afternoon, you can't kite.
You got one day to just focus on one thing, and when you focus on that one thing, you can make something that you're really good at.
We draw straws for dinner, we draw straws for activities, we pair 2 people up for each activity or each dinner.
People will eat when they are tired. You don't have to be perfect. People will still eat that and enjoy it because it's cheap, and at the same time they didn't do it, so hopefully they won't complain too much about it, all right?
There are also some great places to go out for food if you don't feel like cooking. While the main purpose of your trip to Hatteras is most likely kiteboarding, it's not a bad idea to have some backup activities in case you get skunked.
It doesn't hurt to have a good DJ. We've had people who DJed for us in the past. It was actually people who joined the trip, and we even rented some equipment, lights, fog machines, and after splitting the cost between all the 10 or 15 people on the trip, it's actually quite worthwhile, and it really adds.
Your party is what you bring here. There's no party outside of your house generally.
Every day basically music. Every day our house looked like a club. Every single day, nighttime, people were stopping by and just checking what's going on because that's how cool the house looks like.
We asked our friends what their favorite part of the trip was, so you can get a better idea of what makes or breaks a Hatteras trip.
Go with the good people, good vibes, no crappy and lazy people, all right?
You know, you can always go to a place and have a decent time, but people are like the elevator. They make everything so much better.
One of the best days was when we went out to a small island in the Sound, and we were all challenged to try a front roll, which many of us had not tried before. So normally I wouldn't even try a front roll, can barely do a back roll. So this was really great. The wind was perfect, the beer was there, the cameras were rolling, and we were rolling back and forth.
What makes a Hatteras trip a great success? The answer is simple: a great group of people.
Commitment of people and the effort that goes into all of this.
They get along really well, and they're here to share one hobby that they have that they really enjoy, which is kiting.
As you can see, Hatteras is an amazing place to travel with an amazing group of people. Once you get here, you'll likely meet kiters from Canada, the States, and all over the world. Hatteras is a unique place because it has a community feel that's hard to find elsewhere. All right, there you have it, our tips for an epic Hatteras trip. Make sure you like or leave a comment below. Let us know if we missed anything. And as always, subscribe for more videos like this coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.